Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. I'd like to welcome Stephen Lee from LPI. He's postdocing with one of our alums, Sarita Goodrich, over there, and has applied to join us as an associate research scientist. And so I'd like to turn it over to Steve and tell us a little bit about yourself, and then go ahead and dive into your talk.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. I'm Senior Lee, and Stephen is my English name, so call me Stephen. I'm third-year postdoc fellow working in the Astromaterial Research Exploration Science Center and the NASA Joint Space Center with the Lunar Planetary Institution. Today, title of my talk is the Thermal Decomposition of the Murchison CM2 carbonaceous chondrite, the implication of space weathering process for sample return missions. The background image is actually illustrated the OSAR-Rex spacecraft to collecting the rock sample on the surface of asteroids venue, and I will talk to more detailed story in later. So today's presentation, first I will introduce myself, and then I will show my research, and then I will talking about my plans at a PSI. So I will show my research strengths and my research experience, and I give you some idea for the future collaborations. First, education. I got a undergraduate and first master degree from the Busan National University in South Korea. And I got a second master degree and PhD degree in Geoscience Department of University of Wisconsin-Madison. This is my graduate ceremony picture with iron meteorite and Arizona meteorite crater pictures. Because my hobby is playing baseball, so this is an image, a picture of our baseball team in Wisconsin-Madison. So now I'm third year postdoc
What
fellow.
position did you play?
My main position is a left outfielder,
Okay.
and my second position is a catcher.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Yeah, now I'm third year postdoc fellow working the NASA Joint Space Center and LPI. This is my research overview, and my research is using the multiple complementary method combining light optical microscope and electron microscope, XRD, XRF, and neutron source, IR, Raman, most of our and isotopic measurement, and try to determine the structure, chemistry, and mineralogy and isotopic information of Earth and planetary material for better understanding formation and process of Earth and planetary system. So I will show you more detailed example in these presentations. First, I want to show my research strengths. I have three main research skills. So first one is a transmission electron microscope and TEM. And second is X-ray powder diffraction, XRD. And third is the pair distribution function analysis, a PDF method. For the X-ray diffraction and pair distribution function, I generally use the synchrotron facility. For the X-ray source, I typically use the Argonne National Lab and Brookhaven National Lab. For the neutron source, I use the Oak Ridge National Lab. Now I will show you my research method and related some research examples. So my colleague and I found the three new minerals using synchrotron high resolution XRD method. So first new mineral is low fengite, second is a velite, and third is a zeolite. Like name of asteroid, if we found the new mineral, we can put the scientist name in the honorable contribution in the field. So first name is from my advisor name. And second is Baylite, named after John Valley, the University of Wisconsin-Madison. He was my PhD committee. Third, jewite is a mineral, is named after my advisor last name, Xu. I found a new mineral in this lead particle on the surface of a scoria sample from Idaho. So high resolution X-ray diffraction pattern clearly show the new mineral face. L is a low fangite, V is a very large new minerals. The main question is how to find the new mineral. Answer is a resolution issue because these new minerals is actually nanoparticle. So in the lab XRD, lab X-ray diffraction pattern, so it's a peak overlap happened due to the poor resolution. This is H plus B is a hematite and bakelite peak area, but in the lab XRD, the peak overlap happened. But I use 11 BM high resolution synchrotron XRD in the Argonne National Lab. That beamline is almost world best XRD instrument. So when I analyzing this sample, this beamline, it clearly show the separate peak, hematite and new mineral bakelite. So this high resolution XRD is a very powerful tool to find the new minerals. So I'm plan to apply the more Earth planetary material to find the new mineral phase by using this synchrotron technique. Second method is TEM. This left image is a high resolution image of a golden nanoparticle in the shale oil gas from Marcellus Formation in Pennsylvania. This research is a collaboration with the Los Alamos lab and my colleague. They send me this shale gas sample. They want me to checking the organic material in the shale oil gas sample. So using TEM. So I checking the sample using TEM, but luckily I found the golden nanoparticle in the sample. Actually, this is a new observation, golden nanoparticle formation in the shale gas, so we can publish a paper. Second, this image is a Z contrast image. This is from observational collected scanning TM images. So nowadays, the TM is a resolution achieved below sub-angstrom. So sub-angstrom means now we can see the atom position on the image. Actually, this is iron oxide mineral, and this bright spot actually iron atom positions. So now we can directly see the atom on the image. So this is a very powerful tool characterizing the mineral and rock. Also, TM also can provide the chemical information. This is the EDS mapping of hemoilmenite sample. Actually, look at the scale, but this is a 50 nanometer. This is exolution lamella ilmenite and host hematite minerals. This hemoilmenite have a strong unusual remanent magnetic property. And actually, this magnetic property strongly related to these kinds of nanoscale exolution lamella texture. So this is a good example. The nanostructure can describe the unusual strong magnetic property of rock. Now, third method is pair distribution function analysis. This method quite new in earth and planetary science field. This method simply showing the atom to atom distance. This is graphene one layer structure. So if we analyzing this graphene one layer by PDF method, first pair relate to the first pair of carbon atoms. And second peak is related to the second pair of carbon distance, also intensity proportional to the number of atom pairs. And third peak is a third pairs, and fourth peak is a fourth pairs. So yeah, this method is a very powerful tool. We can know directly atom to atom distance in this method. So people using this method to study the local structure, mainly amorphous phase, clay mineral, and nano particles. So I applied this method in the kaolinite sample. So I analyzing the kaolinite using synchrotron high resolution X-ray diffraction and also a pair distribution function method. And also this is a kaolinite structure. Look at the PDF result, and actually this first peak led to the silica oxygen distance. So now we can know that this silica oxygen distance can be provided in this pattern. And second peak led to the aluminum oxygen distance. So we can know aluminum oxygen distance. And third peak is related to the oxygen distance. This method is very powerful to study the structure of minerals. So based on the synchrotron high resolution diffraction and also combined with the pair distribution function method, so I can provide the detailed crystal structure of kaolinite. Actually, this is American Mineralogical crystal structure database. So by using this synchrotron technique, so I can provide kaolinite and also 3D mite and chrysobolite. 3D mite and chrysobolite is a important high temperature silica polymer. So I believe in the future, scientists use this structure as a reference in variety of this science field. Also, I also have a plan to. This is quite a new method. I also want to apply this method to more minerals and to determine the detailed crystal structure. And now let's move to my main research project in my postdoc position. So the topic is thermal decomposition of a Murchison CM2 carbonaceous chondrite. This project is related to the NASA OSIRIS sample return mission, which is the first US mission collecting the rock sample from a primitive asteroid venue. So we believe, and this sample preserved the early history of our solar system. This image is the OSIRIS spacecraft to collecting the rock sample on the surface of asteroid venue. And the sample collecting is succeed. It's now heading to the Earth with asteroid sample. So it is expected to return to the Earth next September next year. In the meanwhile, and also this OSIRIS spacecraft also measured the thermal emission spectra of asteroid venue. And this is solid line is a thermal emission spectra of asteroid venue, and then compare with other carbonaceous chondrite minerals, CI1, CM2 Murchison, CR2 CV3. When you look at this spectrum, actually based on the hump and peak and shape, and Murchison CM2 is quite close to the asteroid venue spectrum. So we believe, it's a Murchison CM2 chondrite is a very promising analog material for asteroid venue. So my job in the lab before the sample returning in the meanwhile, so in the lab, I'm testing the thermal effect of Murchison CM2 carbonaceous chondrite for understanding the space weathering process of asteroid venue. and this is a sample, Murchison sample. But this space weathering effect also caused by the solar wind irradiation, also a shock effect. So my colleague and other group simulated this effect by using Murchison CM2 carbonaceous chondrite. But my research is mainly focused on the thermal effect. Let's look at the sample. And this is unheated and initial Murchison Murchison chondrite and PSE image. So serpentine and tochilinite is two major phase in the Murchison chondrite. So this is a tochilinite phase, and this is iron-rich serpentine, and this is a magnesium-rich serpentine phases. This is scale bar, it's 1 micrometer. But problem is that this serpentine and tochilinite is a nanoscale clay mineral and then nano minerals. So SEM have a limitation to see those phases. So we need to nanoscale investigation. So by using focused ion beam technique, so I extract the interesting area for TM analysis. So I extract this area and I made the focused ion beam sections.
Yes,
Yeah, this is a TM image of focused ion beam section. So clearly show the tochilinite and serpentine, and this is a calcite mineral, and also gypsum also involved in here. With the TM EDS data can have a EDS mapping. So the serpentine is a chemistry is a magnesium ion silica and also contain the water in the structure. So the silica area is led to the serpentine area, it's a green area. But tochilinite have ion, magnesium, and sulfur, and structure water. The sulfur is important. So this red area is a tochilinite area. Also, gypsum have a sulfur. So this area is a gypsum area. And calcium area is led to the calcite and gypsum area. From the EDS mapping, we can extract the EDS spectra. So this is calcite and gypsum EDS spectra. I want to show one example how to identify the mineral, because based on the EDS spectra, we can know the chemistry of this grain. So CaCO3 calcium carbonate. But this is not enough to determine the mineral name calcite, because in nature there are 3 polymorph of CaCO3 minerals. So calcite, and second is aragonite, and third is betolite. These all minerals have the same chemical composition, CaCO3, or structure is a difference. But if this phase have another different structure, this phase can be a new CaCO3 mineral. So the determination of structure is very important to characterizing the minerals. So TM can provide the selected area electron diffraction pattern. So we can get a diffraction pattern. Different pattern from the sample. So this is a diffraction pattern from here and this spot, and also very well matched the simulated calcite electron diffraction pattern. Now we can say, oh, this mineral is a calcite because the chemistry and structure all well match the calcite crystal. Yeah, this is a good example is how to determine the mineral phase in the TEM. Now let's move to the more TM image of Murchison carbonaceous chondrite. This is the image, TM image, and serpentine and tochilinite. Also interaction with the very fine-grained serpentine matrix. Actually, this texture, actually some serpentine and tochilinite preserve the pre-existing mineral phases. So this texture indicating this Murchison carbonaceous chondrite experience quite an extensive aquatic alteration process. So another area also showing the very complicated serpentine group minerals. So this rounded one is a magnesium-rich serpentine. This is chrysotile. And this platy face is iron-rich serpentine. We call this is cronstedtite. Also, there are some K-bearing ionic sulfide minerals also here. So very complicated mineral involving nanomineral involving the Murchison samples. A high resolution image showing more detailed structural chemistry of this sample. This is a high resolution image of serpentine from the fine grains serpentine area, showing the very rolled the morphology. And also I can often found the troilite ionic sulfide nanoparticle is widespread on the serpentine matrix area. Also, I can observe the something interlayer texture, tochilinite-cronstedtite faces. Also, this is a chrysotile, is a rolled texture, and the inside have a hole. This is vertical image. Actually, this is a hole area. Also, this is a cronstedtite high resolution image. So, the high resolution image is can help to determine the detailed structure and detailed structure of minerals. And this is a tochilinite, and this is tochilinite, very wavy morphology. Look at the high resolution image. Actually, this is a tochilinite, and then showing the some twinning relationship. So this line actually relates to the twinning area. Because the tochilinite have a layer structure like clay mineral, so can provide these kinds of vertical twinning relationship. So we can observe the vertical twinning in the high resolution image. So yeah, this high resolution image also very powerful to determine the detail, the crystal structure of tochilinite. So now move to the heating experiment of Murchison CM2 chondrite minerals. So I hit, this is the initial sample, and then I hitting the different temperature. This is 600 Celsius degree, and this is 800 Celsius degree, and this is 1100 Celsius degree. So at 600 Celsius degree, I can see that some this serpentine become decomposed happen. So decomposed serpentine and decomposed tochilinite. Decomposed means they become something like amorphous phase, like very poorly crystallized phases. But higher temperature, these minerals recrystallize happen. So decomposed serpentine transform to the olivine, nano-sized olivine grains. And tochilinite area become because it have a sulfur, so become troilite, and also some iron oxide magnetite, also Ta-10ite, ionic metal complex. So higher temperature much clearer, showing the olivine is a growth secondary olivine, and this is a troilite. Also, Ca is a calcite ionic metal complex form. This area originated from the tochilinite area, and this area originated from the serpentine area. Also, yeah, this heating sample also match with other tools. So this is X-ray powder diffraction data, each temperatures, initial and up to 1300 Celsius degree. So we can see initially a serpentine and tochilinite dominant one. During the heating, this phase become olivine and troilite is a dominant phase. So serpentine and tochilinite have an ion in the structure. So ion, most of our spectra also useful to determine the mineralogical changes. So initially, serpentine tochilinite, most of our peak, and during the heating, this peak is become broad, which means decompose happen. The higher temperature recrystallize happen and then become the olivine and troilite phases. So most of our XRD very well matches with our heating observation, the TEM. Yeah, I also checking the evolved gas analysis and different temperature, increasing different temperature. So this image from the H2 emission gas during the heating. So this water emission led to the decomposed the serpentine and tochilinite phases, and then become recrystallized the olivine and troilite. And this data showing the SO2 emission. So first peak led to the tochilinite become decomposed the tochilinite, and second hump led to the decomposed tochilinite become troilite and magnetite. In the high temperature area, this troilite actually become the ionic metal complex. So it's showing the loss of SO2 gas emissions. And this third graph showing the CO2 emission. So actually this sharply led to the decomposition temperature of calcite. And also this broad hump led to the decomposed organic material in the Murchison CM2 carbonaceous chondrite. And sorry, yeah. So this data showing the Murchison chondrite actually during the heating process provide very unique submicron scale the texture and mineralogical changes. So this data will be very useful for understanding the carbonaceous chondrite because most of carbonaceous chondrites experience heating effect on the Earth's atmosphere. Also, this mineralogical change data also can be important for understanding the ongoing sample return mission, Hayabusa 2 and Osiris sample return mission, because of high temperature heating showing these kinds of very unique texture and morphology. Now I will show another project in my postdoc positions. So I also do some shock metamorphic experiment. So I used supersonic microprojectile impact experiment, the silica polymer mineral and oxide minerals. So this is quite a small instrument. So very tiny micro projectile impact on the thin section. And then this is SEM image of impact area. And then I can take out the focused ion beam sample from the interesting area, and then I can observe the TM. Also, I can measure the X-ray diffraction pattern, initial and after impact. Actually, I did the opal-A mineral, the impact experiment. So after impact, this opal showing the tridymite and calcite, also calcite and chrysobolite, high temperature, high pressure mineral after impact. So combining TM synchrotron X-ray diffraction is a very powerful tool to study the shock metamorphic process. So I will plan to apply more material using this method. So I also involved in the Mars geology project. So I'm mainly interested in the clay and amorphous phase in the Mars. So Yeah, this is a rover curiosity XRD pattern from the Mars scale crater area. Actually, this hump, XRD hump, led to the outpost phase, and this is a reference diffraction pattern to explain this outpost phase. Okay, based on the rover data, XRD and XRF data, actually this outpost phase have lots of iron and silica composition. So iron silica gel is very important for understanding this outpost phase. So I got a different iron silica ratio. This is silica fuel and different chemical ratio iron silica gel, and this is fatty hydride synchrotron XRD data. Actually, this pattern quite well matched this outpost area. So I plan to do more detailed study about the iron silica gel structure formation for understanding the Mars geology. Actually, this is a very complicated process. So XRD pattern also changes under TM, the texture also changes. It's very, it's not simple, it's a very interesting topic for me. Also, my colleague and I submit the sample request proposal in the Hayabusa 2 or Lugu sample. So luckily, last month, Japan JAXA accept our proposal, and actually last week we can get the Lugu sample from Japan. Actually, this is a real sample we got, and then this yesterday. Now we are making the thin section, this Lugu grain for the electron microscope, nanoscales, other measurement. So we can see, yeah, most of the grain is black. So organic rich, maybe pyrosilicate minerals such as serpentine and saprolite is dominant in the asteroid Lugu. And now we are preparing the section. So we are very excited to study the asteroid Lugu sample. My long-term research plan is my research interest is three topics. First one is primitive chondrite, and then second topic is Mars geology, and third topic is sample return mission. So JAXA Hayabusa and OSIRIS, and also future Mars sample return mission. So I will plan to actively try to participate in this project, and I also want to contribute my skill to this project. And so I feel PSI is the best place for me to do these kinds of research, and with some amazing scientists in the PSI community. That's why I applied this position. Thank you for listening my seminar. This is my PhD group and API science group pictures and funding and data source. Also, yeah, thank you for listening. And this is my email. Feel free to give me the question and also email me.
Great. Thank you very much, Stephen. Hey, does anybody have any questions for Stephen? Go ahead and unmute yourselves and chime in.
Maybe I will share.
Yeah, this is Dave Vanneman. I'm with the Chem and X-ray diffraction instrument on MSL, and I find your talk very interesting. As you noticed, we have a lot of amorphous X-ray diffraction in virtually every sample we've looked at. And there's been a lot of work that has gone into trying to tease out as much information as we can, but it's limited. You mentioned the clay minerals, and I don't work directly with the clay mineral structures, but others on our team like Thomas Bristow at NASA Ames have been looking at that. And I think you would have a lot to contribute. One of the things that's coming up is we're going into strata that have abundant magnesium sulfate. I suspect from work that we've done in the lab that a lot of that is going to be X-ray amorphous. And I can see a lot of potential there for the kind of work that you're doing. Maybe not directly with our data because it is so poor. Our 2 theta resolution is 0.3 degrees. That's cobalt.
Challenging.
But analog studies with magnesium sulfides, I think, could be really revealing. I'm very excited. I think I really enjoyed your talk.
Yeah, thank you. Because of calculator led to the alteration in the basaltic rock. So that's why iron, magnesium, and silica, 3 minerals, is very important. So now I'm mainly focused on the iron silica gel because 2 system is simple in the beginning stage. But eventually I will also think, thank you for good idea. I will thinking about the magnesium involved in the gel, this amorphous phase. Also, I have a skill in the pair distribution function method, and this method is very powerful tool characterizing the amorphous space in the lab samples. So I also thinking about apply this method for the future research. Hi.
Thank you. Again, I really enjoyed your talk.
Deborah, you
Deborah.
Okay, thank you. Like Dave, I also enjoyed your talk. I think you're doing some really interesting and valuable work. Could you describe a little more the impact experiment you did, the high velocity micro impact experiment? That was very intriguing. 33.
This one.
Yes.
Actually, I published a paper about maybe I will send you reference. Is ACS Earth and space chemistry, and actually this is quite also new method in the Earth and planetary science field. Actually, this is collaboration in the physical engineering department. Actually, they testing the micro projectile impact in the solid material. They interested in the spacecraft to airplane impact on the micro dust. But when I look at that instrument, I'm interested in the impact on the mineral surface because I'm mineralogist. So OPAL is a very easy to transformation by using shock impact. So I collaboration in the physical engineering, the Wisconsin-Madison, and they I just need to send the thin section and they help the impact experiment. And after I got a sample, then I can do TM and other instrument. So actually this impact is make 2 gigapascal impact strength. But as I know, the 10 and 15 gigapascal impact is currently possible. So in the small impact experiment is a very useful tool, this method. So feel free to contact me, maybe I will provide more detailed this experiment and how to do it.
I'm going to put my email in the chat. If you could send me a copy of the paper, I would greatly appreciate it. Oh, wait a minute, I have to change who I send it to. I'll send it to you.
Maybe I will maybe I will copy this.
Hey, Deborah, this is Matt Perry. You sent your email address to me, not to the group chat.
Yeah, I just resend it to Steve.
Okay.
Now I write down the your email. Maybe I will contact you.
Thank you.
We have any more questions?
I just realized I was unmuted. I was talking
Yeah,
away.
sorry, Mark, I muted you. You cleared your throat at some point when.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
So I muted you.
yeah. No, I just was, I wanted to thank, I was asking if anybody had any other questions and, but I assume not at this point. And, so I wanted to thank, Stephen for your talk. Again,
Thank
you
you.
were very good and, I'll look forward to talking with you on, Friday.
Yeah.
So then thank you everybody for signing in.
Yeah, thank you.